Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's episode. I just want to talk about a few things. First, you might want to sit down for this one. The very first thing that I want to talk about is the international news thing that the internet is going bonkers about these days. The WannaCry, ransomware thing. A lot of people have done a lot of videos explaining in various languages about this thing and how it's get affected into your computers and all that. Why internet is so much on red alert about this? So why internet is so much on a red alert about this thing is like this ransomware is not just a small virus that you can just remove with your virus guard or from your OS defender or whatever, because it has so many capabilities that it consists different capabilities that it can distribute itself, it can lock down all your computer and probably take over all your network. So if one machine get infected in your network, probably if most of these machines are Windows, probably you are under threat. So now currently that these updates are being released, virus guard updates are being released. What I want to talk about is that we tend to trust technology too much. I'm a person in the technology industry. We develop technologies, but something that I personally feel, we tend to trust technology too much. We tend to trust our antivirus software too much. We tend to trust our operating system too much against these kind of attacks. By saying that, I don't mean to say that you shouldn't install antivirus software, you shouldn't, or you don't have to update your operating system. What I'm trying to say is that antivirus software or operating system updates or the defenders on your defense mechanisms in your operating system cannot do this alone. These people who develop these kind of softwares, malwares, viruses or ransomwares, they tend to evolve with these kind of updates and they tend to change their way. So what I'm saying is there's a part that as humans who operate use these kind of technologies has a part to play. When you use technology daily basis, you have to create get used to some ethics. When you wake up in the morning, you want to brush your teeth. So something like that, it just happens to you automatically. You just want to do it automatically. Let's say for an example, you received an email and there's an attachment. You don't just go on and opening that attachment. Like in your brain, there are things that you trigger. Who sent this message? Is there anything that related to me on this message? Were you expecting an email, such an email from someone? Were you expecting an attachment someone? What does the attachment look like? Is it a zip file? Is it a PDF document? What does the name look like? So those kind of things, I believe, should trigger automatically within you, and that will create a safer technology experience for you. And the second thing that I want to talk about is a story about an Instagram picture and another person who took that picture into next level. Some of you already know this story about a young lady who posted her graduation day picture many weeks ago on her Instagram feed, along with the story. She graduated as a LLB degree holder, so along with her story of the journey of that degree, how she worked hard, studied hard for that degree, and at the finally, that was a yay moment. That was like, I achieved this and this is like my moment, and she shared it on her Instagram feed. And this guy who took that picture out of her Instagram feed along with some other pictures posted on his Facebook page, degrading the character of this girl and calling her names. The whole base for the story is that she mentioned in her description of the picture that she had to work as a bartender to earn money to complete her degree. So this guy took that context, took that information out of that description and blew it out of proportion and made a whole story out of it. Normally I wouldn't talk about something like this in these videos, but I have few pointers about this whole incident, so that's why I wanted to talk about this. I have a huge respect for people who earn their own money and pay for their education, because I come from that place. I can relate to that experience. It's not easy. Just because you have money And just because you go to a private university and pay money, they don't just give you the certificate of a graduation. It's not that easy. You have to sit for exam just like other people, just like everybody else who go for the exams and get through their degree. So you have to do that. And while you have to do all this, you have to work to earn your buck, and then only you get this money to pay for your education. So that's why I have a huge respect for those, because some people work too hard to get there, to get that buck and pay for their education. So it takes a lot of courage to do that. There's a huge debate going on in the country between private universities / paid education versus state universities / free education. Sri Lanka has a free education system which enables a person to complete their primary, secondary, higher education at the cost of state, which is really great, which gives the right of education to every single person in this country. I'm in the firm belief of we have to do everything possible to improve and upgrade the quality of this free education, which will give proper results and good results in the future. I also feel that if you have to pay for something, you tend to have much more responsibility towards something. Sometimes I don't know whether it's our human nature. If you receive something for free, we tend to not to care about it, rather than if you're paying for something, you try to get maximum out of that opportunity. Sometimes I feel, this is my personal opinion, this free education is a great resource that we have been gifted with, been abused and not used properly, or wasted. All the resources are wasted sometimes. Sometimes we handle this free education irresponsibly. When you're paying for education, you don't have time to waste. You don't have things to waste, and you just want to do your thing and get the things done and move out. And the biggest take on this topic, that if you are a person who's earning your buck and paying for your education, you can proudly say that the state is not carrying your weight. You don't owe it to the state, you don't owe money to the state, and you are already a person who's in the workforce to development of this country. If you are doing something contributing to the society, you are already a person who's in the workforce trying to do your education and development of this country. I might get a lot of heat for these comments, considering the things that's going on in this country, but this is my personal belief and this is my personal point of it. A lot of people stood by this young lady and defended her. Young generation that are coming up is much more open-minded than people who are criticizing these kind of things. So currently the time is almost 7:30. Between my first story and the second story, in middle there was a huge storm. I'm gonna close this video. Thursday seems to be a better day to talk about stuff that is happening around. So maybe I'll continue doing this on Thursdays. Yeah. Okay guys, I'm gonna close this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still watching, I'll see you guys soon.